Imagine flying a drone through a deep, mysterious valley, not expecting to find anything unusual. Suddenly, the drone spots something incredible that no one thought was there. This is the story of a remarkable discovery, something hidden for over 1,000 years that wasn't meant to be seen. It was as if this ancient object had been sitting quietly, hidden in a secret spot, just waiting for someone to uncover its story. Join us to dive into the shadows and uncover secrets that could change history. Nature's own timer, the mountain spring. Have you ever thought about how even the natural world can follow a pattern, like a clock? There's a river that shows just how amazing and complex nature can be. This isn't just any river. It's found at the base of a steep mountain near a small place called Afton in Wyoming. People call it the intermittent spring or the breathing spring because it's different from other rivers. This spring is special because it has a rhythm. It flows for a bit and then stops every 15 minutes like clockwork. You might be wondering how this happens. It's not too complicated, but still very surprising. The reason for this stop-and-go water flow is something called the siphon effect. Here's a simple way to see how it works. Take a little tube or a bendy straw, then grab 2 bowls or containers. It's okay if they're not the same size, but one should be taller. Fill the taller one all the way up with water. Hold one end of the tube or straw, cover it with your finger, and then put the other end into the water-filled container. Lean the tube towards the lower, empty bowl and take your finger off. You'll see the water climb up and travel through the tube, then pour down into the other container. Surprising, isn't it? The same thing is happening with this special river. Water from under the ground moves into a hidden cave, filling up a sort of natural tube. When this water gets high enough, the siphon effect starts. It pulls the water out from the cave and the river flows. After a bit, the water level drops, air gets into the tube, and the flow stops, until the water builds up again and starts the cycle over. The best time to see this incredible natural event is from the end of summer to autumn, when there's not as much underground water. The river typically goes for about 18 minutes and then pauses for 15. We know about this fantastic spring thanks to a person named Archibald Gardner who found it back in 1889. If he hadn't, we might never have known it was there. And before we move on, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to stay updated. A lucky find by a hunter brings back stories of the brave Vikings, the ancient Viking sword in the stones. In 2017, something really cool happened in Norway. Some hunters who were looking for reindeer during a hike stumbled upon an old Viking sword. They couldn't believe their eyes. This sword wasn't just old, it was ancient, dating back around 1,200 years. This was the time when Vikings sailed across the seas, and their stories became legendary. What was really shocking was how well this old sword had been kept. Sure, the blade was a bit rusty, and the parts made from leather or wood had disappeared over time. But considering how old it is, the sword was in great shape. Usually, swords this old are found in much worse condition. It's thought that the sword stayed so well preserved because it was stuck between rocks high up in the mountains where the air is very cold and dry. Hearing about this incredible find, a team of researchers decided to check out the place where the sword was found. They were joined by the hunter, Einar and Bach, and some local experts who know a lot about metal and old artifacts. They all hoped to find more items from the past, but sadly, they didn't find anything else significant. Yet the discovery of the sword itself is a fascinating peek into history and the lives of the Vikings who once roamed these lands. Dig into a story where an old disaster shows how a brain survived, the strange 4,000-year-old brain mystery. Back in 2017, a really surprising discovery was made at a place called Seymour Mound in Turkey. Some scientists were digging around there and found something incredible, a piece of a human brain that had been kept in really good condition for a very, very long time. This discovery was shocking because usually brains don't stay in good shape after someone passes away, especially not for thousands of years. So how did this brain stay so well preserved? It turns out a long time ago, there was a big earthquake in the area. Unfortunately, someone got trapped under broken buildings during this earthquake. Then, to make matters worse, a huge fire spread through the area. Normally, fires destroy everything, but this fire actually helped preserve the brain. Because the fire used up all the air, the brain didn't rot away as it usually would. Instead, it got really dry, almost like it was cooked. But there's more to the story. The ground where all of this happened had some special stuff in it, like potassium, magnesium, and aluminum. This mix of minerals helped create something called adipocere, or corpse wax, which helped keep the brain from falling apart over all these years. Scientists were really surprised by this because brains are usually one of the first parts of the body to break down after death. They're full of stuff that decays quickly. This brain staying in such good condition was so out of the ordinary that it made scientists all over the world take notice. Usually when archaeologists find human remains, they don't expect to learn much from the brain, but this time was different. Now they're starting to look around that area more carefully, hoping to find more hidden bits of history. The brain is now being studied to understand more about what life was like 4,000 years ago in that part of the world, especially how healthy or sick people were. In the mountains, a man follows his dream to shape the earth. A lone wanderer's mysterious stone art. Let's talk about a fascinating person named Alberto Gutierrez, also known as the Hermit of Nicaragua or the Stone Man. Alberto is an extraordinary individual who chose to leave the hustle and bustle of regular life behind. He moved to the quiet mountains of Nicaragua to follow his unique passion, carving sculptures out of a mountain. Alberto was born on October 17, 1944, in a small village close to Esteli City. He had always felt a deep connection to the forest around his home. When he was 33 years old, Nicaragua was in the middle of a war, and during this challenging time, Alberto decided to chase a dream he had since he was 9 years old, the dream of sculpting a whole mountain. He moved to El Halcon Mountain, which is part of the Taizi Estanzuela Reserve. He recognized this massive 300-ton rock as the one from his dreams. Then Alberto built himself a small wooden house in the mountains. He lived there without the comforts most of us are used to, like running water or electricity. Instead, he used simple tools like metal rods and a blade to start his life's work. Alberto transformed the rock into a magnificent gallery of sculptures, carving out images of animals like elephants and cheetahs, among other figures. Alberto's choice to live away from society and his dedication to his art made him quite a legend in the area. Despite his remote lifestyle, news of his work spread far and wide, attracting visitors from all corners of the globe. In the last 10 years alone, about 30,000 people have trekked to see him and his mountain sculptures. Interestingly, while Alberto himself shies away from modern technology, it's the internet that has brought his story and art to the attention of people around the world. His life and work show how following your passion can lead to unexpected and remarkable outcomes. Step into the past to see a tomb that plays with the sun's light, the deep shine of 5,400 endless summers. In 2013, a team of archaeologists made an incredible find in the southern part of Spain. They uncovered a tomb that they believe is around 5,400 years old, dating back to a time long before many of the civilizations we learn about in history books. This special tomb was found close to a unique, solitary mountain in the area, which already set it apart from other discoveries. But what's truly fascinating about this place, known as Piedras Blancas, or White Stones, is its special connection to the sun. Every year on June 21st, something magical happens here. The summer solstice, the longest day of the year, aligns perfectly with this ancient tomb. As the sun rises on this day, its rays shine directly into the tomb, casting a dance of shadows and light across the stone inside, creating a beautiful and mesmerizing display. This phenomenon is similar to what can be seen at the famous Newgrange site in Ireland. It shows us just how advanced the Neolithic people were in their understanding of astronomy. They were far more knowledgeable about the stars and the movements of the sun than many people today might realize. A surprising find in the mountains uncovers a place of Roman prayers. Alpine altar of the Romans in the breathtaking Swiss Alps, a hiker's accidental discovery in 2020 opened the door to a remarkable piece of history. The finding of an ancient Roman coin was the spark that ignited a wave of archaeological interest in this mountainous region, situated between the towering Amtonhorn and Waldstrubel peaks. At an impressive height of about 8,500 feet above sea level, archaeologists unearthed treasures that seemed almost too incredible to believe. 100 ancient coins, 27 rock crystals, and a collection of Roman-era items. including shoe nails, a brooch, and even a beautifully shaped votive plaque resembling a leaf. The sheer variety and number of items found suggest that this spot was more than just a scenic viewpoint. It was a sacred site, a kind of holy ground where ancient travelers came to make offerings. Instead of tossing coins into a fountain like we might do today, these ancient visitors left behind valuable objects like coins and crystals, likely as a way to seek favor or blessings from the divine. The timeline of these coins spans from the 1st to the 5th century CE, indicating that this place was visited and revered over several centuries throughout the entire duration of the Roman Empire. The choice of such a high and beautiful location suggests that it was chosen for its spiritual significance and the natural beauty surrounding it, much like Thun's Roman temples. Walk ancient trails where a discovery shows how people long ago kept warm. The lost sandal of the ancestors. In the stark and beautiful Norwegian mountains, a simple discovery by a hiker in 2019 has added a new layer to our understanding of history. A sandal, believed to be about 1,700 years old from the Iron Age, was found high up on a mountain pass. This suggests that this path was used by travelers thousands of years ago. While we might imagine a lost Roman venturing into the chilly north, it's more likely that the sandal belonged to a local, someone who knew how to navigate the unforgiving landscape. They probably modified the sandal for the cold, adding layers of fabric or fur for warmth. This sandal is just a piece of a larger historical puzzle. It points to a network of trails stretching from the deep inland areas of Norway to the coastal regions, pathways that were traveled from around 200 CE to the late 900s. This ancient traffic was significant enough that remnants like Viking age horse dung and other artifacts have been found, suggesting these routes were well used. With the ongoing melting of ice, we anticipate more discoveries that will unveil the secrets of Norway's past, showing us how these ancient people moved, traded, and lived. A fort's scary story invites the daring to explore before night falls. The ghostly fortress of Bhangarh. In the heart of Rajasthan, India, lies the mysterious and foreboding Bhangarh Fort. Built in the 17th century by Raja Mohit Singh, this fort is shrouded in dark legends and known as one of India's most haunted places. According to local lore, the downfall of Bhangarh came with a powerful curse by a sage, which led to a catastrophic defeat and the mass destruction of its inhabitants. This place, filled with stories of the unexplained and the tragic fate of its princess, is so notorious that the Archaeological Survey of India has placed warnings for visitors to leave before dusk. The tales tell of unexplainable incidents, like people vanishing or encountering accidents, leading to strict regulations against nighttime visits, especially for tourists from abroad without special permission. One peculiar feature of Bhangarh is its houses without roofs. Legend says that any attempt to build a roof ends with its collapse due to the ancient curse. Yet amidst the eerie atmosphere, the fort remains a site of historical and spiritual significance, housing ancient temples dedicated to various Hindu gods. Despite the haunting tales, these temples offer a glimpse into the spiritual life that once flourished within the fort's walls, adding layers of mystery and sanctity to this enigmatic site. High up, learn about the first people who lived where the air is thin, surviving the sky-high eternal freeze. High above the world in the chilly Peruvian Andes, a group of archaeologists made an unexpected and fascinating discovery. They found the remains of what they believe is the oldest known high-altitude human settlement. This wasn't just a temporary stopover. These ancient Ice Age people made a home here, at nearly 14,700 feet above sea level, around 12,000 years ago. Imagine living in such extreme conditions. The air is thin, the weather is cold, and the environment is tough. But these early humans were resilient. They set up their camp in a shelter made from rocks, where the ceilings and walls were blackened with soot from their fires. They left behind tools like spear points and scrapers, along with hunting equipment like bolas, and they made their tools from stones that were carefully shaped on both sides. They also left behind bones from the large animals they hunted. This settlement gives us a new perspective on how early humans adapted to extreme conditions. It shows that our ancestors could live at high altitudes, facing the challenges of thin air and cold temperatures, much earlier than we had previously believed. Beneath old rocks, there's a secret pool from long ago, waiting to be shared. Millennia in the mountains, Hyblean mystery. In the depths of the Hyblean Mountains in Sicily, scientists have found something truly remarkable, an ancient underground pool of water that dates back around 6 million years. This is not just any old water, it's fossil groundwater, trapped deep beneath the Earth's surface, holding about 17.5 cubic kilometers of water. This discovery is groundbreaking, especially considering it came from a time known as the Messinian salinity crisis, when the Mediterranean Sea nearly dried up. This crisis was a dramatic event where, due to a blockage at the Strait of Gibraltar, the sea levels fell dramatically, exposing the seafloor and allowing rainwater to seep deep into the earth, where it was absorbed by the underlying rocks. When the sea levels eventually rose again, this water got trapped under the layers of salt water, preserved and untouched for millions of years. The thought that water from such a long time ago could potentially help solve modern-day water shortages in Sicily is fascinating. This discovery isn't just a step forward in understanding our planet's history. It could also lead to new ways of finding and using water in other parts of the world facing drought and scarcity. In Italy, a very old tree has seen the world change for over 1,000 years. The pine that outlived empires. In the serene highlands of Italy stands Italus, a Bosnian pine that holds the title of the oldest known living tree in Europe. This grand old tree has seen more than 1,030 years of history unfold. When Italus was just a sapling, Europe was a very different place. The Byzantine Empire was thriving, and Charlemagne was working to unite much of Western Europe. The Vikings were beginning their bold expeditions across the seas. The age of this tree was determined using dendrochronology, the science of studying tree rings. Located in a remote, rugged area facing the harsh conditions near the tree line, Italus has withstood the test of time. This tree is not just a plant, it's a living piece of history, standing tall through centuries of human evolution and natural changes. Its existence gives scientists a unique opportunity to learn about past climates and how our environment has changed over the millennia. Studying trees like Italus helps us understand more about the world we live in and the history that has shaped it. Discover a place where people made homes in the hills, leaving us guessing. Carved secrets of the Yangqing slopes. The Gaju caves, discovered in the Yangqing district of Beijing, China, present a fascinating and complex puzzle from the past. Found in 1984, these caves are carved into the side of Tianwang Mountain, forming a network of over 350 chambers that look like a honeycomb from afar. This extensive complex spreads over 3 different slopes of the mountain and includes about 117 explored caves, each with its own unique design and purpose. Each of these ancient caves typically contains 3 rooms and could even span 2 stories, complete with intricately carved stairs and bridges connecting them. The variety in the size and shape of these rooms, with some being up to 20 meters long and ceilings about 1.6 to 1.7 meters high, has led to speculation about the size and lifestyle of the people who once lived here. What's particularly impressive about the Gaju caves is their sophisticated water management system, including drainage and water storage, highlighting the advanced engineering skills of their creators. These caves served a range of uses, from housing and storage to places of worship and royal quarters. The largest chamber, known as the Golden Temple, hints at significant communal or religious activities. Despite the detailed architecture and planning evident in the caves, the identity of those who built them remains a mystery. There's speculation about their creators being anything from the nomadic Khmer people to builders from the Tang or Han dynasties. The lack of organic remains for carbon dating in absence of decorative carvings or writings adds to the enigma of the Gaju caves. Opened to the public in 1991 and recognized as a National Historical Site in 2013, these caves continue to be a source of intrigue and wonder, inviting both scholars and tourists to ponder the mysteries of China's ancient past. Explore the mystery of ancient warriors who lived in the clouds, the Chachapoyas, builders in the mist. Long ago, in the high parts of the Amazon Andes, in today's Peru, there lived a group known as the Chachapoyas, or the Cloud People. They got their name because they lived up high, where the sky often touches the mountains, making it look like they lived among the clouds. This special place was full of tall mountains and thick green forests, which was very different from other parts of the world. The Cloud People lived way up high, between 6,500 and 9,800 feet above the ground. They were amazing builders, known for creating big and strong houses and fortresses like Quilap. This huge stone place had big walls outside and over 400 smaller houses inside. Their history is kind of like a mystery story. We know they lived alongside the Incas for a while because we find buildings from both groups in the area. But stories from the past say the Cloud People didn't always listen to the Incas, especially when the Incas tried to take over. Around the late 1400s, a powerful Inca leader, Tupac Inca Yupanqui, conquered the Cloud People. What's interesting is how different the Cloud People looked compared to other groups nearby. According to the Spanish who came later, they said the Cloud People had lighter skin and they thought the women were very beautiful. But when the Spanish came in 1535, they brought diseases like smallpox. Even though the Cloud People joined forces with the Spanish to fight the Incas, many of them got sick and died. We're still learning about them today, like in 2006, when scientists found a hidden place with mummies of the Cloud People, showing us what they looked like and how they lived. Yet we still don't know everything, like what they originally called themselves. Chachapoya is actually a name from the Inca language, not what they called themselves. Enter a holy mountain filled with art that's lasted through the ages, the sacred art of Majishan. In a place called Maiji District in Tianshui City, China, there's a special mountain called Maiji Mountain. Here you'll find the Majishan Grottos, a huge collection of caves filled with old and beautiful artwork. These caves were started between the years 384 and 407, a long time ago during the later Qin dynasty. As years went by, more and more caves were made, adding up to 221 caves filled with over 1,032 sculptures made of clay and more than 1,300 square meters of wall paintings. These sculptures are all different sizes, from really big to really small, showing us how the style of Chinese sculpture changed over thousands of years. The caves are set up high on the cliff of Maiji Mountain, around 230 feet up from the ground, which makes the place look even more amazing. The most famous cave, Cave 4, is also known as the Seven Buddha Pavilion, and it's really special because of its size and the stories it tells. The caves have two main sides, called the Western and Eastern Cliffs. Each side has different Buddha statues and paintings that tell stories and show what life was like back then. These clay figures are famous for their details and how they show everyday life, unlike the Mogao Grottos, which are known for their wall paintings. Visiting these caves is like going on an adventure. There are narrow walkways built along the cliff to get from one cave to another. It might be a bit scary for some because it's so high, but the view and the art make it worth it. If you're interested in history and art, going to the Majishan Grottos is something you shouldn't miss. In Bosnia, hills that look like pyramids stir up stories and debates, the tunnels beneath the Bosnian mounds. There are some very unusual hills in the beautiful country of Bosnia, not far from a small town called Visoko. These hills have caused a lot of talks, made people ask many questions, and even made the people living there feel a special sense of pride. They're known as the Bosnian Pyramids. A man named Samir Osmanagic, who is from Bosnia but lives in America, brought these hills into the spotlight in 2005. He suggested that these aren't just regular hills, but that they were made by people a very, very long time ago. Osmanagic pointed out that the hills look like pyramids and face in specific directions: north, south, east, and west. He also talked about some tunnels under the ground near the hills, called the Ravna tunnels. He thought these hills might be older than 30,000 years, much older than any other known ancient buildings. He believed that people from long before our known history, maybe the Illyrians, built them. Osmanagic even said that special energy waves at these hills could send messages to space. Lots of people in Bosnia, especially those living nearby, started feeling really proud of these hills. They saw them as a link to a grand past that no one knew about before. The town of Visoko turned into a place where tourists wanted to go, and even schools took kids on trips to see these mystery hills. But not everyone thinks these hills are ancient pyramids. Many scientists, like archaeologists and earth scientists, say that Osmanagic's ideas don't really match what they know about the past. Groups like the European Association of Archaeologists say that the hills are just natural. They're made of layers of rock and clay that look like that because of natural processes, not because people built them a long time ago. These scientists are also worried because they think the digging and exploring that Osman Agic is doing might ruin real historical spots. They also say that the ways he studies the hills aren't done the right way that scientists need to follow, and they haven't found real proof of old building methods or materials at the hills. A haunted house with a long story tells of ghostly echoes from the past. The Myrtles, between truth and legend. In a small part of Louisiana, there's a very old house called the Myrtles Plantation. It was built way back in 1796 by a man named General David Bradford. This place has a lot of history, and some people even say it has ghosts. Bradford built this house, called Laurel Grove at first, after he had to leave his old home because he was in trouble for being part of the Whiskey Rebellion. The house ended up with Bradford's daughter and her husband, Clark Woodruff. Their time at the house was filled with sad and scary events that people still talk about today. One of the most famous ghost stories from the Myrtles is about a girl named Chloe who was a slave there. People say that Woodruff paid too much attention to Chloe, which caused a lot of problems. Chloe was scared of getting in trouble, so she would listen secretly to family talks. But when Woodruff found out, he was very angry and punished her by cutting off her ear. Chloe had to wear a turban after that to cover it up. Angry and hurt, Chloe is said to have put poison in the family's food, which caused the death of Woodruff's wife and two of their kids. When the other slaves found out, they were so scared of what would happen next that they hanged Chloe and threw her body into the river. Now people say her spirit walks around the Myrtles. Later, a man named Ruffin Gray Sterling bought the house and changed a lot of it, making it bigger and changing its name to the Myrtles. But sad things kept happening. Many of Sterling's children didn't live to be adults. And in 1874, a terrible thing happened when William Winter, who was married to one of Sterling's daughters, was shot and died in the house. Some say his ghost still walks there, especially near the 17th step where he died. The house has had many different owners since then, and in the 1970s it became a bed and breakfast. That's when even more stories about ghosts started. Visitors say they hear strange sounds and see ghosts, like a young girl wearing a turban, who they think might be Chloe. There's even a photo from 1992 that some people think shows Chloe's ghost. But there's a bit of confusion because there's no real record of a slave named Chloe at the Myrtles, and the records show that the Woodruffs died from a disease, not poison. Despite this, the stories of hauntings continue attracting visitors from all over, looking to experience the mystery. So what do you think? Are these mountain mysteries just nature's odd tricks? Or could they be clues to something bigger, maybe even otherworldly? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more.